say remix.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View and welcome to the Qatar 2022 remote match views. Yes, Josh has done it again. If that's the first time you've heard that intro, what an intro it is. Josh he never misses. He never misses. The amount of different intros we have had, whether it's Halloween, Christmas, Flex on the beach, now Qatar 2022, the guy just does not miss. He never misses at all. Shout out Josh for the amazing intro. And what we're here for today is the opening match of the FIFA 2022 World Cup in Qatar. It's the host Qatar versus Ecuador. Kickoff's in around 30 minutes time. We're going to be doing so many of these. We're going to be doing so many of these remote match views as the tournament goes on. So be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Remember, if you wish to do so, you can join the UB Members Club. Links in the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat. You get your badges, your emojis, your exclusive members only content. Is there a Josh emoji? I don't know if there's a Josh emoji. If there isn't, there should be one. I don't know what to put in as an emoji for Josh after that intro. I'm not exaggerating, guys. When I got sent that yesterday, initially I got sent like just the MP3 of it first, and I sent Josh a message back and was like, I have watched this or listened to this intro like 10 million times. It might be his best work yet. So shout out Josh. If that's not worth a like, I don't know what is. But as I mentioned, the World Cup begins today. There is so much that's going to be going on over the next 4 weeks when it comes to this World Cup. We're going to have, obviously, match views from inside the studio for all of the England games. I certainly am going to be doing my very utmost best to bring you as many games as I humanly physically possibly can here in the remote match view center. I'm going to be doing as many games as long as I can physically not be in two places at once, because there might be some games where I literally have to be in two places at once to do it. I will bring you these games. I'm committed. We are going to watch this World Cup together. You and I, the United View community, of course. Flex is out there in Qatar as well, so he's going to be bringing you that tier 1, top tier A1 content that you've all come to love. You saw it last night. He landed. When did he land? Friday-ish, but the first video went up yesterday, of course. You can check that out as well. So he's going to be at a lot of the games, so he's going to be bringing you that tier 1 content as well. So don't you worry. Even though it does feel strange, the fact that I look at my calendar there and it says November and the World Cup is just beginning, I'm still trying to get into the World Cup spirit. It still feels odd, I can't lie, it still feels weird, but I in the last hour or so, or a couple of hours or so, maybe in the last day or so, I've started to get a bit more into that World Cup spirit again. It still feels odd, but we'll make the best of it, guys. You know me. Ronald the Rat, what a great name that is, with the super chat, says, will you be covering all the games? I'm going to be covering as many as possible. I can't say all of them because in certain cases, with some of the content we've got planned, it's not going to be physically possible to do two things at once. But as many as I can, Ronald, as many as I can, because that's what you want, that's what you deserve, and that's what I'm going to do my very best to bring you. So even if that's in some cases, because especially during the group stage, it's like 4 games a day, isn't it? But if it might be 3, it might be 2, some days it might be 4. The best way is to just keep an eye on the socials, keep an eye on the channel. I'll be doing all that I can. You know me. We are in this together for the next 4 weeks. So appreciate the contribution and appreciate you joining me. Josh is in the chat as well. This is the time. Now that he's here, it's time to give the guy his flowers. It's time to give the guy the praise that he deserves, because that intro has taken the world by storm. I mentioned the positive reception that Flex's video got yesterday, but actually what really the positive reception was about the intro. That's all everyone cares about. That's what everyone's talking about, the intro. I've got half a mind to play it again. What I will do is at the end of the stream, before I go into the end card, I'll play the intro again, because it's just that good, okay? So smash a like on the like button for that, and smash a like on the like button. Just give him a round of applause. There you go, Ronald the Rat back once again. says round of applause. Titan Zed says, Josh, you're the GOAT, big up man. Raz says the intro over the World Cup anthem. That's what it is. Mr. D7 says, morning Owen, Josh, mods and chat. Morning yourself, D7 as well. Let me know where you're all watching from as well. This is the World Cup. This is a global tournament. And of course here at United View, we have a global audience as well. I know you're watching from all across the world. So let me know where you're watching from this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Because yeah, this is going to be certainly a unique month or so. And it's United View's first World Cup as well, as Flex said in his video too. So this is going to be different. This is going to be unique. You might just be watching from here in the UK, just as Cab says, watching from Doncaster. You've got South Africa in the chat, Nairobi, Kenya from Victor. Appreciate you, Victor. Raz is watching from London. Mustik says, watching from Washington, DC, but go Senegal. Well, Senegal, they lost Sadio Mane, didn't they? Dave's watching from Ethiopia. Tampa guys watching from Clearwater, Florida. Big up to yourself. Zoe Muller is watching from Germany. A. Sakis watching from Ipswich, Ethiopia, Chelmsford, Wisconsin in that Midwest of the United States there. Shane Starr's watching from Jamaica, South Africa. Yes, look at this. Look at the global audience we've got here. USA, Canada. Oh, Canada. They're in the World Cup this year as well. Bangkok. So we've got a global audience for a global tournament. So there you go. And let's have a bit of World Cup chat before the game starts. As I mentioned, the game's going to kick off in about 23 minutes time. I wanted to start at half an hour earlier. For the remote ones, we probably usually start like 15 minutes before or something. But I wanted to start half an hour earlier because, look, it is still the opening game of the tournament. It is still the World Cup, despite it not feeling a bit like it or taking a while, because it's crazy how much can happen in a week, by the way. 7 days. Craig David settings, because how much can change in 7 days? 7 days ago, had we kicked off against Fulham yet? I don't know. And 7 days ago, we were certainly celebrating Alejandro Garnacho scoring that last-minute winner at Craven Cottage, and then 7 days later, we're focused on Doha, or I think it's in Doha, this first match, and Qatar versus Ecuador. And during that period of time, a million just looking at the stadium. Oof. I mean, certainly the stadiums are impressive, but in addition to that, there's obviously, this is the most clearly, it's the most controversial World Cup, certainly in my lifetime. Arguably, it's going to be the most controversial World Cup ever, with all of the background noise and situation and circumstances heading into it. Of course, there was the press conference yesterday from Giovanni Infantino, the FIFA president, which, frankly, I thought was just... I've never seen anything like it. I never have seen anything like that. That was one of the most wildest things, I think, sport, politics, or anything. It was insane. And obviously, that's going to be a thing that does rumble on throughout this tournament. You can't ignore it. Of course, the BBC is broadcasting at the moment, which is what the feed I'm watching. And that certainly, they've been talking about that. And it is going to be something that will continue on throughout the entirety of this tournament. There's documentaries talking about how this tournament got awarded to Qatar in the first place as well. It's just it's crazy. It is crazy. This whole thing, the fact that we're in November and we're talking about a World Cup halfway through the season, it is it's strange, certainly strange, but we will adapt, we will overcome. And as far as for today's game as well, let me actually get the team lineups. Let me talk about the team lineups. Now, I can't profess that I'm going to know a lot of these players. You're going to probably know... this is what you always like, isn't it? I always like learning about new players at World Cups. You always like learning about or seeing players that play in the Premier League or used to play in the Premier League, and they play in these tournaments. So in goal for Qatar, you've got Al Sheeb. You've then got a back, what they're putting on, certainly Google, a back three. It looks like they're playing a 3-4-3, playing Al Rawi, Kuki, and Hassan as your back three. You've then got Miguel, Bodif, Hatem, and Ahmed, and then you've got Al Haydos, Ali, and Afif as your front three. For Ecuador in goal, you've got Galadinez. This is what it's going to show me up is my pronunciation is awful, awful. Estupian, Hincapi, Torres, Presido, Ibarra, Moses Casido. We know him from the Premier League. Mendes, Plata, Estrada, and then I believe, is that Enner Valencia up front? He used to play for West Ham. I do recognise that name as well. So this is certainly what what the World Cup's all about, watching those players you don't really see that regularly or haven't seen before. You know, some of the scouts for Manchester United will be doing the same thing, right? Looking at some of these players, see what happens. I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe that Qatar, in the build-up to this World Cup, have actually been quite successful. Didn't they win a continental tournament? I believe they may have. So it's going to be interesting. Again, of course, there are all these, you know, what's the best way of saying this? Rumours and discussion on social media about today's game. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. But as far as England goes, and that's what obviously I'm going to be talking about, but this is what I think is really interesting about this tournament, is that usually, obviously, we're a Manchester United channel, and usually we talk about Manchester United, but now, because there's people from all over the world watching this, you've all got your respective countries that you're going to be cheering on and all that kind of stuff, so I think this is going to be a lot of fun and a lot different as well. And so it's quite exciting. From an England perspective, from myself, an England perspective, it's a strange one because you still have those people saying England are in the conversation to win it. I really don't subscribe to that theory. I'm just looking at Qatar's 2022 results in the friendlies. They've only lost one friendly. Win, draw, win, draw. Loss against Canada, draw against Chile, beat Guatemala, Honduras, Panama, Albania. I mean, you would argue not the strongest sides they faced off against, but certainly coming into tournament rather with form. What was I talking about? On England perspective, yeah. From an England perspective, I can't say I come into this tournament with a huge amount of confidence. Got a good squad. I think our squad was actually better at the Euros, to be honest. And you're going to say that I'm pessimistic. I've got a viewpoint on Gareth Southgate that will probably shine its head during this tournament significantly. I think that he has been so fortunate, has been blessed with such a good squad of players that I don't think he gets the best out of. I think when it comes to the last two tournaments he's been in, I think England have been so fortunate that they've had fantastic draws and fantastic pathways to the latter stages, and even then they haven't been able to make the most of it. You know, you look at the Euros last year. Ironically, I mean, it was only really the strongest team they faced was probably Germany. And even that, if your German viewers in here, you would probably say it's not the strongest Germany side ever. It was a Germany side that was sort of declining. It was Joachim Löw's final tournament as well as Germany manager. And they needed a reset. So it wasn't even the best Germany side that we'd ever really defeated. And apart from that, you know, there were red flags throughout the whole tournament of performances that I thought were odd. And let's face it, we lost to an Italy side in the final that didn't even make it. Didn't even make it to the World Cup. So I feel that's England's best opportunity to win a major tournament since 66, and I think we blew it. And the last two times we made it to the latter stages, like in the World Cup, like in the Euros, what happened? We went 1-0 up early, and then it's your prerogative as a manager to manage the game. Manage the game, manage the occasion. Didn't do it twice. We lost both games, and we ended up with the tournament coming out with nothing in the end, apart from in the Euros a runners-up medal. So I don't have a lot of confidence coming into the World Cup from England because I think that other sides and other countries have got better, and I wouldn't put us among the favourites. Of course, we've got good players, and we've got people like Harry Kane that can score goals, and you've got people, you know, like Foden, etc., that can create. Jude Bellingham's a prospect. I have real concerns about our defence from an England point of view as well. I think we're really, really weak in defence. It's going to be really interesting to see what goalkeeper he plays. I'd play Ramsdale, but he won't. He'll play Pickford. So, and frankly, the form going in to this tournament from England is horrific. We were absolutely shocking. We were absolutely awful in the Nations League. We were getting absolutely slapped. So form's different when it comes into international tournaments because it doesn't really mean all that much. If you can put a run together, you never know. But I cannot say that I'm confident. I think that the sides that you'd be looking at as the favourites obviously would be a side like France, even with the injuries that they've had. I mean, talk about bad luck from their perspective. No Paul Pogba, no N'Golo Kante, Nkunku has to drop out after suffering an injury in training. Reported today and announced today, Karim Benzema is out of the World Cup as well. You've got 4 top quality, world-class players there, and still, France is still considered the favourites because they've got so many good players. So France have to be a favourite. Then you have the classics. Brazil, fantastic squad, a really fantastic squad, no doubt about that. I mean, look at the players. Their squad is absolutely superb. So I think Brazil, clearly favourites. They haven't won it since 2002, 20 years, which is a long time for Brazil. Argentina, they've got Messi. They've also got good players involved in there as well. So you could say them. I think Portugal are a bit of a dark horse, honestly. Forget park this Ronaldo stuff to one side. They've got fantastic players, and they've got a real strength and depth of quality attacking players and defensive players, and quality players there as well. So I think Portugal are dark horses. You could argue Spain as well. They've got their next sort of generations now coming through with the likes of Xavi, etc. So I think they'll be a possibility. Plus, they've got a really good coach. Speaking of coaches, I think Germany will be dark horses as well because Hansi Flick's he's just a monster. He not only is he a monster and he achieved everything in domestic football when it came to Bayern Munich, but he also comes from an international football background. He was part of the German national side with Joachim Löw, so he understands that as well. So I think Germany will be a completely different prospect, honestly, a far different prospect to what they were than when we played against them last year at the Euros. And again, they're going for one of those situations where those older players like your Müllers are starting to sort of fade out whilst they're in the squad. They've got good young players as well. So yeah, I think Germany are strong. Again, I think that the opportunity was there for England last year. And it will be a surprise. Raz says that I think the Netherlands will be a surprise this year. They've got a good squad, certainly as well. I mean, the transformation that they've really undergone in the last few years is pretty tremendous, considering they missed out. Was it 3 major tournaments in a row they didn't go to? What was the last tournament they went to? Was it under Louis van Gaal, the last tournament they went to? I don't think they went to... Did they go to Euros in 2016? I don't think they did. I don't think they went to the World Cup, and I don't think they were at the last Euros. I think they missed out the last 3 tournaments, didn't they? But during that period of time, they've got the young players they've got now are incredible. When you're talking about obviously De Ligt, Frenkie De Jong, you've got the players like Virgil van Dijk, you've got people like Memphis, you've got quality players in that squad. And Louis van Gaal knows how to get it done. World Cup, he guided them to a 3rd place finish in 2014, right before he was coming to Manchester United. You remember that? God, it feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it? What's that, 8 years ago? So I think Holland might be one to watch out for, considering as well that there's a possibility we could get the Netherlands from an England point of view in the next round. If we came second in our group, they come top, we would get Holland. So that's a possibility as well. So, and then obviously there'll be these sides whereby you had no idea about them, or you didn't think they were going to be, this really strong side, and then whatever reason, look, when people like Greece can win the Euros, or Denmark won the European Championships, what was that, 1992, these are smaller nations or smaller sides that just come in and something clicks. It's the romance of tournament football. Anything's possible. So there'll be certainly sides that people don't expect, and they surprise us. So that's part of the fun of all of this. So I hope you've all got your wall charts ready. I hope you've all got your beverages or what have you ready, because it's going to be a long month, certainly. PS says, Owen, you forgot about Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo, yes, he's also part of the Dutch squad as well. They've got a really strong squad, and I think Louis van Gaal, it must be said, even though I can't understand the press conferences that he does, I have to watch the translated versions, his press conferences are still to this day absolute dynamite. Louis van Gaal press conferences are fantastic, especially as he gets older. And more... and he's been through a lot, actually. Shout out Louis van Gaal, because he's been through quite a few health issues, of course. He was battling cancer throughout the qualifying campaign, and he spoke about this. He spoke that even as players didn't know, he would go in the night to get treatment. So, unbelievable. And, of course, this is going to be his last tournament for Holland, because Ronald Koeman takes over after the World Cup for next year's Euros. And Louis's got that gold dust about him, hasn't he, when it comes to tournament football. So anything's possible with Van Gaal, and like I said, his press conferences have just been absolutely dynamite, absolutely fantastic. I would give a commentary on the opening ceremony, but I can't see it on the BBC coverage. They're not showing it, so I don't know. Depending on where you are in the world, they might be showing it, or has it even started yet? I don't know if it has. What other teams, though, do you reckon could go quite far? Let me get my World Cup-ness up. This is what I like about these individual match views. These are like going back in time a little bit. I can interact with the chat quite a lot. We can let you discuss. So obviously games coming up of course, England. Big one tomorrow is England versus Iran. 1 p.m. kickoff over here in the UK. And it's got, I mean, it's a must-win for England because, of course, every game in the World Cup's a must-win. But it should be so simple. It should be so simple, but you never know with England. You just never know. That group, in general, should be the one. You've got Iran, USA, Wales. No disrespect to any of them, but that's a side. That's a side. That's the group rather that you have to be finishing top of. But it wouldn't be surprising. It's happened to us in the past. What was it in 2010? It was England, Algeria, Slovenia, and the USA, and we finished second. We were terrible, absolutely terrible. Drew with the USA, drew with Algeria 0-0. That's when Rudy had to go at the fans as he was walking off the pitch, and just beat Slovenia in the last game. And then obviously we played Germany in the next round. We know what happened there. It was still over the line, but it didn't really matter because we got battered anyway. Even though it would have brought it back to 2-2. That is true. But that whole World Cup was just a complete disaster. So you do need to finish top of your group. You do need to start well, and that should be the one. But again, you never know, especially with England in tournament football. We're perennial bottlers. Also tomorrow you've got Senegal versus the Netherlands, which should be a really good game. Of course, it's unfortunate that Sadio Mane is not going to be playing. He's not going to be involved. Obviously, he's out with injury, as are a lot of players. A lot of players missing this World Cup, unfortunately, through injury. The likes, as I mentioned, Mane, Karim Benzema, to name a few, all missing out, which is unfortunate. I think some people say, is that because of the time of year? I don't know if you can really put it on that, to be honest with you. I think that you could put it to fixture list being more congested than usual. Around this time of the year, you probably wouldn't have played as many games by now that you have. And certainly big clubs, players have been playing games every 3 days, which is intense and can lead to muscle injuries, which is what is forcing a lot of people out of these World Cups. But at the same time, injuries do just kind of happen as well. And it's just, again, very unfortunate. Oh, there he is. Dr. Evil, Gia Infantino, talking to the crowd there. I don't know if I can hear. I've got to get my headphones in. That's also the good thing. When you're in the... Oh, actually, you want to hear that? We'll get taken off the telly. We'll get taken off the stream, if you can hear it. Jeez. Let's put these in. And there you go. He's welcoming everyone to the FIFA World Cup. Saying welcome to the World Cup 2022. Welcome to celebrate football because football unites. Again, I hope it's not like his press conference yesterday. That was a bit of a disaster. Says, let the show begin. As the flags are out on the pitch, the stadium looks to be filled. There's apparently that wasn't even in the running order. He just decided to speak to the crowd. Oh dear. Oh God. It wasn't. This is the thing. Like World Cup opening ceremonies, they are run like clockwork with a running order, and it wasn't on there. He just Delia Smithed it. I want to get a microphone. I want to talk. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Be sure to smash a like on the like button though, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well. Bottom right hand corner. As I mentioned, we've got full World Cup coverage coming over the next month or so. But the 22nd World Cup throughout the tournament's history. Qatar walking out onto the pitch alongside Ecuador. I like the Ecuador kit, certainly. An inflatable World Cup there. Flex is inside the stadium as well, folks. So don't you worry, we've got that A1 content coming up. Oh, I'm a little bit nervous. I've got to control the scoreboard and the timer and everything as well, which is usually not my role. Well, the national anthems are just about to begin. Ecuador's first, followed by Qatar. Let me just get my comments over here. I must say, I do like listening to others' national anthems and seeing them how long or short they are in comparison to our own. It's always very interesting. Here's a question for you guys, actually. What's your favourite national anthem that isn't your own? What national anthem do you like listening to? Which national anthem do you always have a lot of fun listening to or enjoy? Of course, some don't even have words. I think like Ecuador's here, it would appear that there is no words at the moment, unless it's just an intro. Oh, it is words. Oh yeah, go for it. Good. I always do appreciate strong singing, a strong singing in the national anthem. KW says New Zealand enjoys listening to New Zealand's national anthem. Which ones do I like? I like the Italy one. Italy's pretty good. What other ones do I like listening to? The Spain one doesn't have any words, does it? It's just instrumental, I believe. Erica says Spanish, Italian, New Zealand. Legend says Brazil. Up next is the national anthem of Qatar. Certainly a huge stadium, isn't it? No doubt about that. Raz says, I like the French national anthem. Aaron says likes the Wales national anthem. And again, this is the fun thing, guys, about these match views, these remote match views, is that it's just you and I, so we'll have a game of either or at half time. So get your thought process in for that. Your questions, either or. We can be on player watch today. I think it's got to be Caicedo watch, hasn't it? Quality player that wasn't it United were interested in him before he went to Brighton as well. United were interested in Caicedo. Certainly plenty of Premier League players, I think. Smile says, what score do you predict? Score predictions. Get your score predictions in, guys. I mean, the rumour was 1-0 Qatar. I mean, honestly, it's a difficult one because, again, I don't know how really good these sides are. I mean, you would say it should be Ecuador win. But at the same time, and again, this is going to be the problem with this, is that Qatar recently have been doing quite well. Certainly in the last couple of years, they have won, actually, international or continental, rather, tournaments. So they're not terrible. It's not as if they're a terrible side. But realistically, it should be an Ecuador win. It should be an Ecuador win. But we can't say whether or not it will be. Palmeiras says 2-1 Ecuador. Gemini says Ecuador. Ronald says 4-0 Ecuador. Victor says 4-0 Ecuador. Raz says 5-1 Ecuador. Smile says no way Qatar winning. Ecuador 3-0. Is that true? A host nation has never lost an opening game. My goodness. Whoa. Wow. So we could be about to watch a first, maybe. A host nation has never lost an opening game. That's pretty wild. Smile says today what happened. Austin says, where's the international kit, Owen? Do you know what? I don't have many international kits. I don't have many international football shirts. I have some United ones throughout the years, but I was never a big international kit fan. I don't know if I've ever actually owned like a kit that wasn't an England kit or something like that. VAR, of course, is at the World Cup. Yeah, I only had England kits or United kits. Didn't have anything else. Victor says, Owen, thoughts on the chef spilling the beans? It was about time. It's about time the chef spilled the beans. I heard conflicting information, it must be said. I heard information that whilst the chef said that Ronaldo's celebration was about his ex-wife Susan, I had heard it was actually a tribute to the chef. Instead of saying Sue, he was saying soup. But that's just a rumor. That's just insider information that I've heard. Yeah, not Sue, soup. I like these graphics from BBC. They've got the printing on the badge. Emma K says, so Owen, you're hella loyal. What about the kits? I've just never had the desire. Never had the desire to get another kit. There have been nice kits. Felix Sanchez, the coach of Qatar. Barcelona born and bred. From Catalonia to Qatar. What a story that is. But here we go. I mean, they're already late. It should be kicking off now, but they haven't. But the 2022 World Cup, we're watching history together, guys, is about to get underway. A Qatar kit's nice. Moises Caicedo is the one to watch. Definitely. Certainly the one to watch in this one. They're doing the countdown, though. Certainly the atmosphere is good. Six, 5, 4, 3. Wow, they missed the countdown. Ball over the top. They were doing the countdown. They just kicked off. What was that? 5, 4. We're kicking off anyway. Okay, we're off. Anyway, we're underway. It's Qatar versus Ecuador. The FIFA 2022 World Cup is underway. And we are watching it together, guys. Football history is going to unfold in front of us. It's a foul on Qatar early on. I hope it's exciting. Sometimes opening games can be quite quiet or quite reserved. I mean, considering their group, they've got Senegal and the Netherlands, who would be the favourites in this group. This is the one either side's really got to win to get momentum going, certainly. Here comes Qatar, though. Remember, the host nation has never lost. Ecuador might have the counter-attack here. Bit sloppy, but they win it back, Qatar. Again, I can't profess to give you an exact play-by-play coverage of the players themselves because I don't know a lot of them. Oh, what a tackle that is. He got the ball, though. Counter. Go, go, go. Oh, it's a bit slow. Heavy touch. Well played. Oh, that's a tackle as well. Oh, these tackles are flying in. He's brought it back, though, referee. Oh, a couple of feisty tackles already. I like it. So he just sort of clatters into him. So apparently he was born in Portugal, outside of Qatar. But a knee to the thigh already. But he's back on his feet, no problem there. A lot of people talking about the temperature as well. Obviously, it's considerably hot in Qatar. But that's why they're having it at this time of the year. It's meant to be the winter. There's air conditioning in the stadiums as well. But it's Ecuador free kick. Oh, there you go. Ecuador scored the most goals from set plays. Oh, keeper comes a long way. Is he going to get there? Oh, he's flailing around. Headed back. Oh, he hooked in. It's going to score. It's 1-0. 1-0. Less than 3 minutes in. Ecuador are 1-0 up. Oh, my goodness. It's Enner Valencia, the former West Ham player, has made it 1-0. Less than 3 minutes into the World Cup, and we've got a goal. Ecuador are 1-0 up. Well, forget those social media rumours because That was a mistake. It was a mistake from the Qatari goalkeeper. And Ecuador, they're 1-0 up. Wow, wow, wow. Not the start the host had in mind. Remember, host nation has never lost the opening game. And already, they're 1-0 down. What a dream start for Ecuador. It's shocking from the goalkeeper. It's just a ball into the box. It's not even that good. Keeper comes such a long way. Goes to punch it. He's flailing all around all over the place. Hooked back across. Enner Valencia header. Bang. 6 yards out. 1-0. Terrible defending. Or terrible goalkeeping. I mean, Ecuador keep it alive. Was hooked in. But we're 1-0 up after 3 minutes. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ecuador, get the goal. Enner Valencia. Wow. Now we've got a game on our hands now, folks. This is what we want to see. Now we've got a game on our hands. Because Qatar are going to have to do something. Come on, Ecuador. The Qatari captain trying to cheer up his team. Oh, here we go. VAR check. VAR. What's going on? They're checking for a possible offside. You couldn't write it. You couldn't write it if he's given offside. I didn't think he was offside. Checking for an offside. I'm not sure how. It's a long check. What's it going to be? No. He's given offside. Wow. Wow. He's given offside. Well, let's see some replays then. I want to see this again. Where's the replay? The stadium's absolutely... the stadium's gone insane. Let's have a look at this. What, because the keeper's come out? I don't see that. I don't see that at all. No. What is going on? What is going on? I cannot see an offside there. How is that offside? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It wasn't part of the script. Oh no. How? I mean, unless they're trying to say that the player... because the keeper comes out, but the player's still in front of the goalkeeper. He's not behind him or anything like that. I can't believe it. Well, here comes Qatar on the counter-attack. It's going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Unless they can get the lines out. What? I cannot believe that. Show the lines. The replay we saw was like nothing. That was... they just didn't even bother. Oh my goodness. Well, start as you mean to go on. Because how on earth has that been ruled out for offside? I mean, even if they show the replay and they get the lines out, but they didn't even get the lines out. They couldn't. I cannot believe it. Got away with it. It's an understatement, Dion Dublin. Dion Dublin's on commentary going, got away with it? Oh my God. Home's under the hammer, tournament under the thumb. Oh, wow. That is staggering. Unless there's, like I said, some rule. I know it gets a bit complicated once a keeper comes out, but that is insane. This is mental. Oh, well, we are less than 10 minutes in to the World Cup's opening game, and we've already got a major controversy because... Ecuador have scored what appears to be a fine goal, and it's been ruled out from a VAR for offside, which not a lot of people can really see. There's a ball up. Ecuador looked to hold it up. It's gone out now for a throw into Ecuador. They've got to show a replay. They've only shown the one so far. But 8 minutes gone. Qatar 0, Ecuador 0. I genuinely, I did not think it was going to take 8 minutes for me to be speechless. Because it was a throw into the box by Saicedo. Recycled out. Ecuador, cross into the box. Going to go to the back post. Headed back across. I think that would have opened the game up so well. But I cannot believe what I've just seen. And again, I guess the replays are at the discretion of the host nation, because they'll be the one providing the feed around the world. But so I'll have to wait until half time. But I cannot believe that. I cannot believe what I have just seen. Keeper punches out once again from Qatar. I'm still in shock. Still absolutely in shock. It's incredible. Here's Ecuador again, tries to force the ball. I mean, they've had all the ball, certainly. I mean, it's... What has the world just seen? Well, there's a free kick to Qatar, to Ecuador once again. I showed a replay of this foul. That was a foul. They're not showing a replay of the goal. And I say the goal because it was. It was a goal. Oh, my goodness. Well, look, Ecuador, they scored from the last set piece. They scored the most goals in qualifying from set pieces, and they've got another one now. If they score from this... Qatar's line's on the edge of the box. So all of the Ecuador players are onside right now. Ball in. Oh, it was a low one, and it's kind of flicked away. On the feed that I'm watching on BBC, I only saw one replay of the goal, and it was onside. There you go. Takes on the player. That's a good play. Good tackle by the Qatar player. From Hassan. But, man. 3 minutes into this tournament. 3 tournaments. It was a good tackle by the player, certainly. Pitch is good. Long throw, headed out. I think that's a corner ball. David with the super chat says, as an Ecuadorian American, I'm not shocked. We're not phased and we know they'll cheat. We will blast these clowns. Vamos. We've got an Ecuadorian in the chat. Appreciate that. That's a lot of fun. Choco Page saying there's a rule about the goalkeeper, I think you mean, coming off the line. I know that, but the player was still ahead of him. So it would then become a situation about the defender being the last line of defense, right? Which he was behind him. So I'm not sure... The player was still ahead of the goalkeeper as opposed to being past him. So I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, Dion Dublin was gobsmacked by it as well. Because even with that rule about the goalkeeper coming off, the goalkeeper wasn't ahead of the player still. So unless they've just, I don't know. I don't know. Corner ball though for Ecuador here. We're in the 12th minute. There looks to be some hustle and bustle. Referee having a go. I think that's Saicedo. Corner ball. Ball put in. Oof. Headed away by Qatar. Well, certainly it was a first game that wasn't getting a lot of people excited, but now it's got a bit of controversy about it. And you know what the reaction is going to be. But Ecuador rather have had all the ball. I've got the stats in front of me right now. They've had 65% possession, 75% passing accuracy, 64 passes. No shots technically, no shots on target. As I mentioned, Ecuador, if you are just joining us, did score in that first 3 minutes, and the goal was controversially ruled off for offside. An offside that I've only seen once, so that's a bad pass by Ecuador. It's the Qatar throw now. A goal that... Okay, we're seeing the goal once again. Ball into the box. Keeper They're saying that's the offside? His leg? I mean... The knee of the Ecuador player behind the keeper is offside. I mean... VAR, man. VAR. They'll do anything to rule out a goal. This is my problem with VAR. Like, okay, if they're saying that's offside, then it's offside. But at the same time, you can rule out every goal. You can rule out every goal. You can. In every single goal, in the build-up to it, or in the immediacy before it, there is always something you can rule out the goal for. And in that sense, they're looking. They're looking, but is there anything we can rule the goal out for? Is there anything? There is something, because there's always something. Rule it out. Rule it out. Oh, dear. That's a good pass, though. Ecuador, they've got players forward here. Puts the ball through. He might be through on goal. This time he goes around the goalkeeper. That's a penalty. That has to be a penalty. He's given it. He's given it. It's a penalty. Points to the spot. It's a penalty. He couldn't not give it. He couldn't not give it. He's booked the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's had a stinker. He had to give it. He had to give the penalty. It was a clear one. Where's the card? Where's the card? I want a yellow just as a shirt. It's a penalty. It's a penalty. I don't know what he's doing. Keeper's had a stinker in this game so far. Clear penalty. Clear pen. But Ecuador dominated. They deserve to be 1-0 up, certainly. Controversial disallowed goal. Now it's a penalty. I tell you what, if VAR rules this one out, or if the keeper now, you scored it, but he was off the line, you got to take it again. But Enner Valencia, who had his goal ruled out earlier on, is stepping up 12 yards out to put Ecuador 1-0 up in the 16th minute this time. It's Enner Valencia for justice. Valencia, 12 yards out. Pressure moment. Valencia steps up. And he just slots it. Easy. Bottom right-hand corner. Sends the keeper the wrong way. And this time it will count. Ecuador are 1-0 up against Qatar. And justice, you could argue, has been served after that controversial first goal was ruled out. Enner Valencia puts the ball in the back of the net once again. And Ecuador, deservedly, are 1-0 up. They have dominated the opening 15-16 minutes at the World Cup. Qatar have it all to do. They have it all to do. 1-0 Ecuador. My, oh my. Good penalty. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Pressure moment. Goal. Look at this. Just look. Steps up. He doesn't even run. Walks up. Just walks. Walks. Waits for the keeper. Keeper goes to his left-hand side or his right-hand side. And he just slots it to the keeper's left. Excellent penalty. 1-0. Can you imagine if they rule this one out? But it's 1-0 Ecuador. Deservedly so. David with the super chat. Appreciate that. David says, we play versus Brazil, Argentina, Peru, Colombia. We're calm. Referring to, I guess, the thing earlier on. But it's 1-0. Enner Valencia gets the goal. And it's entirely deserved as well. Qatar got to wake up. Here come Qatar. They play like rewind stuff. Oh, here come Qatar. They're in the box. Is that a corner? Corner, but I think it might be offside. Ecuador free kick, he has offside. But 1-0. And Said Al-Sheeb, the Qatari goalkeeper, is booked. It's had a real rocky 18 minutes or so. That first one that was ruled out for offside, it was a mistake. Gives away the penalty. Very rash. Very, very rash from the goalkeeper. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys, as well. Be sure to subscribe bottom right-hand corner. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing a ton of World Cup coverage here at United View over the next month or so. We're going to be doing remote match views like these for as many games as I humanly possibly can. We're going to be doing match views from inside the studio tomorrow, 12:30. We'll be going live for England versus Iran. My plan is then to be live later on in the evening for Wales versus USA. After the England game as well, we're going to have fan views. We're going to have a special edition of the tactical view as well. So we've got a ton of coverage. Plus, Flex is out there in Qatar, so he's going to be giving you that A1 content, that proper coverage from the Qatar itself, giving you the views on the ground there as the World Cup commences. So we've got you all covered, and it's only just beginning now. But it is nearly 19 minutes gone. 1-0 Ecuador. Penalty. Enner Valencia gets the goal. And let's be honest, they've dominated. Absolutely dominated. 64% possession. 80 passes. 77% pass accuracy. Qatar only having 37% possession of the ball. They're in behind once again. Ecuador chips it over. Oh! Wow, they won a penalty. Oh, it's offside. It's a real clash. Ecuador were close once again. They get in behind, and the keeper just clatters the Ecuador player. Man. Look at this. He's tight. He might have been offside with the ball over the top. He gets it back across goal. And the keeper, to be fair, the player just clatters into the goalkeeper, but he's just kind of lingering. He's just running. It gets smashed. Tough collision. But this goalkeeper for Qatar looks pretty ropey, it must be said. It looks like they're both okay, though. I think he was offside, though. Wasn't a... can't give a penalty for it. The player ran into the keeper. But it was Estrada who was down. Top goal scorer in qualifying for Ecuador. But he's back up now. Still 1-0. And you could certainly say Qatar, I have not been impressed at all. I don't think they've settled at all. You know, I heard good things. Or certainly I heard more positive. Oh, they nearly give the ball away again here, Qatar. Ecuador, they're in the box. He's going to take a shot. Oh, ball just kind of gets stuck under his feet. And Ecuador... lose the ball, Qatar. But Qatar, they're all over the place. Really poor. Again, I'd heard some positive stuff about, oh, what that? Look at that. Acrobatic. Keep it in. No, it's throw. I'd heard some positive things about Qatar's, team, but they are all over the place. Really struggling. Really poor. Certainly the game's been entertaining, though. You can't argue with that. Certainly a very entertaining game. But Ecuador are dominating. Absolutely dominating. Oh, he's just giving the ball away from a throw-in again. Oh, my goodness. They're all over the place. It's a free kick to Ecuador again. That's another yellow card. Second yellow card to Qatar. They just gave the ball away from a throw-in. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. It's Enner Valencia. Nicks the ball ahead. Not a lot of contact, to be fair. But they are really not playing well. Christopher says, did you watch KG's video, Owen? I did. And a sneak peek behind the curtain. I got an advanced screener before it premiered. It was excellent. KG is the guy. He is one of my most favorite people, which is terrible grammar. He is one of my favorite people on this planet. He is great. It was hilarious. The chef with his little hat, like Keenan and Cal. But it's a free kick to Ecuador here. Ball put into the box. They haven't been able to manage with this at all, Qatar, so far. That rhymes. And Qatar, everything's just like a little bit last minute, isn't it? Ball put into the box, back post. He's free. Can he head it back across goal? Can't get enough on it. Qatar will clear it. But now Ecuador just nipping it around. It's easy. It's an easy game for Ecuador so far. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well. Bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can join the UV Members Club. Links in the video description. Good pass by Ecuador there. Oh, heavy touch. Heavy touch, but it's given straight back. Given straight back by Qatar. Easy. David says, Owen, thanks for doing this. Thank you for tuning in. It's my pleasure. As I mentioned, we're going to be covering as many games as possible here at United View over the next month or so. Whether the game involves big teams or not big teams or not. We're all football fans at the end of the day. So it's a festival of football, and we're going to watch it all together. Because sometimes, I know I've been a fan. Is he going to give a foul for that? No, just a throw in. I know I've been just a fan in the past. Sometimes you wanna, if you're watching it by yourself, you want to watch it with others. That's what we're all here to do. My light's gone off. I'm back. Qatar have the ball here though. They just need to settle a little bit. You can tell they're very nervous. Here we go. They're on the ball a bit more now. Attempt at a switch. Gets the header. Ecuador going to seemingly deal with it, though. Puts his foot through it nicely. Oh, bounces over. Misjudges the ball. Oof. Certainly is. Oh, gosh. Some of these tackles by Qatar are absolutely going through them. Man. Look at this. Just goes right through him. Must be said, the pitch is absolutely gorgeous. It's a real nice pitch. As Raz says as well, big up Steffi Jegs. Big up to all the mods in here. Joining us as always, joining us for every stream. They're going to be busy as well in the next couple of weeks. But we're all in this together. High School Musical. We're all in this together. Ball just bouncing around all over the place here. Ecuador, though, win it back. Little chip over the top. Crossfield pass by Ecuador. Settled well. Good side. Loses it, but they've won it back. Presedo for Ecuador. Oh, through the legs. Oh, just defended enough in the end. Qatar just do enough. And by the way, Mina, if you're watching, apologies because I'm just butchering Qatar, the pronunciation every single time. So I apologize for that. I mean, Raz, you say that, so the new rule of the World Cup is no cards for Qatar, but they've got the 2 bookings of the game so far. They've got committed 6 fouls, 2 yellow cards, 1 for the goalkeeper, 1 for a defender. They very much Route 1 football as well, looking for, the ball's over the top, but I'm not even sure if a Qatari forward player has touched the ball. Ecuador have been very calm and composed. Ball over the top by Ecuador, just not enough on it. Qatar deal with it, goes out for a throw-in though. Who's the most famous Ecuadorian football player of all time? Would it be Valencia, Antonio Valencia? From a United perspective, certainly. I'm trying to think of other famous Ecuadorian players. I can't think of many. Definitely Antonio Valencia. Let me... Ecuadorian football players. Famous Ecuadorian football players. Valencia, probably the most famous one, right? Just trying to see if I recognise some other ones. I can't say many that I recognise. Probably Antonio. I'm sure probably back in the day there might have been some famous ones there a bit before my time. Carlos Tenorio, that's what David is saying. There you go. But they look quite tidy so far, I think. They look decent on the ball. Got a ton of pace in behind. They look a bit of a threat. I think they're clearly a cut above Qatar in terms of footballing ability. That's clear to see. Ball over the top once again. Valencia, it's headed away by the Qatari defence. That might be handball, that. No. Bounces. Shoots. Is that a corner ball? Or is that just... Did he just sky it over the bar? I think he just skied it. Well, certainly the Qatari crowd there still enjoying it. Atmosphere. Look at them behind the goal. They're bouncing up and down, swaying from side to side. Free kick to Qatar. Oh, that's a booking straight away. Refs dishing out these yellow cards to Casado. I've got to get that right. Casado. Here's a foul. I don't know if that's a booking. That might be his first one. Free kick, though, to Qatar. I think one thing you have to give Qatar credit for, I think, is the atmosphere in the stadium is loud, certainly. Very loud. Free kick to Qatar, though. Still 1-0 Ecuador. Qatar still struggling to get in the game like that. That's just poor. It's just a forward pass, and then it goes to, I think it's the number 6, Qatar, and he just goes out for a throw-in. Lack of communication, lack of quality, a bit of a rush of blood. I mean, clearly this will be the biggest moment of all of these Qatari players' lives. The world is watching, their country is watching, stadium full of people. And so far, they have really struggled to deal with what Ecuador have been putting at them. Here comes Valencia once again, dispossessed by the Qatari centre-back. Oh, gives it away though, again. They've been so sloppy on the ball. Really, really sloppy, Qatar. And really poor. Again, just a bit of a poor watch. From Qatar's point of view, for Ecuador have done all right. It's a far cry from the opening 3 minutes of that goal that was ruled out for offside controversially. 1-0 to Ecuador, possibly could argue could be 2-0. I mean, according to the replays, his knee was offside. Speaking of poor communication, ball goes out for a Qatar throw-in. But 30 minutes gone, still not even a Qatar shot, let alone one on target. That's not a foul. Here comes Ecuador on the counter-attack. Is he going to have a shot? He's going to try and force it through. Didn't work out for him. Still going though. It's Casado. Brighton's Casado. Ball into the box. Goes for the header. It's 2-0. 2-0 once again. Valencia makes it 2. Valencia should have a hat-trick, but he's got 2. It's 2-0 to Ecuador. My goodness, it's too easy. It's too easy for Ecuador. It's 2-0. Qatar are all over the place. It's a fantastic header, it must be said. It's a ball into the box. Bang! Gets the header. Goes to the keeper's corner. The Qatar coach doesn't know what to think. His face is in his hands. It's some ball and it's some header. Absolutely brilliant. Ecuador are flying. Remember, our host nation has never lost the opening game. It looks like it's going to happen here because we're 30 minutes in and Qatar have been absolutely dominated. It's Casado again. He keeps going with the ball. He keeps travelling. He's not really going anywhere. Gives it back. Ball into the box. They'll check it. They'll check it. They'll check it. I don't think he's offside, but they'll check it. It's a fantastic header. Look at this. Bang. Brilliant header. It's a great header. Watches it the whole way. Just directs it into the bottom corner to the goalkeeper's right-hand side. Keeper's got no chance. He's had a sloppy first half, the goalkeeper, but it's absolutely fantastic. Bullet header. Sensational. 2-0. Valencia. We didn't see this from him in the Premier League for West Ham, did we? No VAR check this time. It's 2-0. Valencia with 2. Valencia penalty and Valencia header. Valencia is now on a hat-trick, and it's only 32 minutes gone, and Qatar are all over the place. Qatar trying to pump the ball into the box here. Headed away by Ecuador. It's just been so easy. So easy. But at the same time, whilst Qatar have been very poor, I think Ecuador have actually been quite impressive, you know. Here's a shot. Well, it's the first shot from Qatar. And it might land in Dubai because it's well over the bar. Look at this. We're just seeing the replay. It's a proper header, this is. Look at that. Real good centre forward header. To the keeper's right, bang. I love that angle. From just in brilliant. David with the super chat once again. Appreciate the contribution. David says, we know our quality. Valencia is on fire. He certainly is. You could argue maybe he should have scored a hat-trick for that offside goal. But didn't let them phase him, certainly. Oh, goes down. Who is that? Gets a knock in the face. A clash of heads there. It's the number 11 for Ecuador. I should get the team up in front of me, so I'll know the players. It's Estrada. There you go. Just gets a little elbow in the face. Not intentional, certainly. Goes up for the header. And it's just an elbow in the face. It's from Miguel. Elbows Estrada in the face. Colin says, Golden Boot candidate. Certainly could argue. I mean, he's got 2 goals already. I mean, what on average does the Golden Boot player score in a tournament? What on average is it? It's like what? 6 goals? Something like 7-ish? Got 2 already. It's around sort of 6 or 7, isn't it? Lucas says 7. Colin says 6. Yeah, it's around sort of that, isn't it? So certainly, ball into the box once again. Speaking, they'll be aiming for Valencia, certainly. Qatar, well, they've got to try and do something. They're going for that long ball again. They love that switch, but there's nobody there. Absolutely nobody there. They're trying to play a long ball, and actually Ecuador play quite a deep line, so it's not working out for them at all. You'd have money on Valencia to get a hat-trick, to be honest, because it's easy, really. And frankly, as well, I think what would be also be worth pointing out is that they've got some really tough sides in their group as well, haven't they? Senegal and Holland will be licking their lips knowing they're going to be playing Qatar because they are all over the shot. They're defensively absolutely abysmal. Here's a Estepinha for Ecuador. A rare touch for the Ecuador goalkeeper. Be sure to smash a like on the like button though, guys. Be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. As Ecuador lead the opening game of the FIFA 2022 World Cup 2-0, and it's been easy. It's been easy. After that controversial start, it's been nothing but smooth sailing for Ecuador in Qatar. Oh, that is nasty again. It's another booking for Qatar. Some of the tackles they're putting in. It's Kareem this star. He now goes into the referee's book. It goes through Enner Valencia. Look at this. Bang! Right all the way through behind him. I mean, Valencia kind of makes the most of it, but it's just a foul. My goodness. Wow. But still 2-0. And Bema says, Owen, update the scoreline and the time. It is. Maybe you are not in the right time yourself. But I wonder what the Qatar fans think. I don't know. Were they expecting this? I don't know what their expectations were heading into this tournament. But certainly, again, for a host nation, never to lose their opening game. I think Qatar are about to make some history they don't want to. Casado's a heck of a player as well. Manchester United, take note, because he is superb. But 37 minutes gone, still 2-0 to Ecuador. In a first half, they have absolutely dominated. Dominated. And that doesn't even really cover it. They are absolutely dominating the game. And Qatar, again, at this point, I think just kicking people, to be honest with you. I mean, the Qatar coach looks to be pretty disconsolate. It's another free kick. Here we go to Ecuador, who have been brilliant on set pieces. This one's a bit overhit. The goalkeeper can hold it. That one's a bit easier for Qatar. Oh, really? 85th cap for the goalkeeper. Doesn't look that assured, does he? Looks very nervous. There's fireworks going off at the moment. Here come Qatar. Easily defended by Ecuador. Counter-attack might be on here. Ibarra gives it to Casado, who has been absolutely brilliant. And Valencia nearly gets to it. It's a good tackle from the Qatari defender. Gives away the free kicks. Naive from Valencia. Doesn't need to do it. It's not a lot in it, to be honest. He just doesn't need to commit to the foul, but he does anyway. But as opening halves go, I think Ecuador will be thrilled. The controversy of the offside goal won't bother them too much. Qatar, again, they've just haven't been able to keep hold of the ball. They've looked rash. They've looked rough around the edges, certainly. Still only had 38% possession. Only one shot, 0 on target. In comparison, Ecuador dominated the ball. 3 shots, 2 on target, 2 goals. Here comes Qatar on the attack. I think it's going to go out for a goal kick. Good defending. Too physical. Too physical for the Qatari player. They look completely out of their depth, it must be said. Absolutely. Even to the point where they've just sort of resorted to kicking people at points of that half. I don't think you can fault the fans for their effort in terms of their support. They've been loud. They've been supporting their team in unison. But the team on the pitch is not backing it up. Even they are starting to look a bit disconsolate, going, I thought it was going to be better than this. KG's therapist says, even Ollie's under 14 team would thrash this Qatari team. It's certainly not been impressive at all from Qatar. Ecuador, meanwhile. It's difficult to judge if Ecuador have played super well, because I think Qatar have been really poor, but at the same time, I think Ecuador have looked at... Oh, he's in behind here. Is he onside? That's the question. Here comes Qatar. I reckon he might be offside, but easy. Easy. Ecuador, deal with it. Oh, they win the ball back. Here comes Qatar once again. Heavy touch. It must be said, the crowd go crazy, but it's going to go out for a goal kick. The touch has been off as well for a lot of these Qatari players. It's just... The ball bounces off their feet. They get a rush of blood. They still look nervous. Even as the half goes on, we're just seeing a replay of the penalty. It's such a calm penalty. And Valencia has been superb. This is the one. This header's absolutely brilliant. This is a proper header. Just absolutely directs it. Keeper's right. Can't get anywhere near it. It's fantastic. Brilliant goal, that. Qatar win the ball back here. Oh, some of these passes from Qatar are just shocking. Now it's up to Ecuador can just sit back and pick them off, and I think that's what they're going to do. Colin with a super chat says, awesome coverage. It's going to be a great tournament. Appreciate the contribution, Colin. Appreciate the kind words. I'm really looking forward to it. As I mentioned, we're going to do as many games as physically possible. I know I am for games like this. Of course, we're going to be covering all the England games, all of the match views inside of the studio. We're going to have a full cast there. We're going to have fan views still. We're going to have tactical views still. Obviously, Flex is out there in Qatar, so he's going to be bringing you that coverage from the lands of Doha, etc. for the World Cup. And as I mentioned, as many games as I can physically possibly do here on the channel for these kind of remote match views, I'm going to do it. Because I want to ensure that you guys have people to watch this World Cup with if you don't anyway. Or if you're at work and you want to get some extra coverage of it, you can listen to me here. We can all watch it together. That's my my hope, my plan anyway. So I appreciate all of the support and appreciate the contribution. We're going to have a fun month or so. But be sure to smash a like on the like button. Let's see if we can get to 200 likes. We're about 34 likes away from 200. So if you haven't already, click that like button. Be sure to subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. About 2 minutes away from half-time. Ecuador still 2-0 up. Very easy so far. And we've got a stretcher coming on here. And it's for Enner Valencia. I think he kind of hyperextended his knee there. It didn't look good, did it? Hopefully he's okay, because it would be so unfortunate for starting the game so well, getting 2 goals. I think he's going to be okay. They're sort of waving the stretcher off. He looks... doesn't look good, though. He's very, very... He's limping considerably. Looking very static. Kasairi says, watching from Uganda. Much love to you, mate, and everyone in the building. Appreciate you, Kasairi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not, because I'm terrible at the pronunciations. You will see this throughout the entire World Cup. It's a throw-in, though, to Qatar. But Qatar down to have the man advantage now, as Ecuador are down to 10 men, with Enner Valencia off the pitch. Of course, their captain, their top goal scorer so far, scoring both goals in this game. And here come Qatar, trying to make the most of this advantage. Valencia's jogged back on, but he still looks very uncomfortable. Qatar, again, their first touch is so off. So off. I mean, he got a pass there, the Qatari player, and he nearly let it run out for a throw-in. A back heel. Comes off a Qatari player. It's an Ecuador throw once again. Danica says, thank you, Owen. I'm watching the game alone, and I really appreciate having you to watch it with. Appreciate you, Danica. That's why I do it. That's why I do it. I want to give people company if they don't have it, or just, you know, an extra aspect to watch the game. That's what it's all about. All about getting the community together, certainly. As we're now into stoppage time. I don't know if they've actually added on any extra time. They have. 5 minutes. Where did they get that from? Valencia wasn't down for that long. 5 minutes. For what? Oh, the VAR decision, maybe. It wasn't that long, though. 5 minutes. The VAR took 3 minutes. And I guess an injury. 5 minutes. I mean, you get that at the end of the game. But at half-time, you usually just get the 1 or 2. Even with VAR decisions. 5 minutes. Wow. What an eventful game, though, so far. For a game that, you know, was a bit boring. Was there a water break in that? I missed that. It might be that. But Qatar having a bit more of the ball now. It doesn't really matter. I mean, Ecuador are happy for them to have it. Again, I think their quality on the ball is somewhat lacking. Says the penalty as well. I guess so. But certainly. I mean, Qatar now starting to nip the ball around a bit better. They may be settling a little bit. They'll clip forward there. It's a heavy touch again. This is clearly the most of the ball Qatar have had throughout the entire game. Longest period of possession. Not really doing much with it, but at least they've got their feet on the ball. That'll be a throw into Qatar. But it's been easy. And again, I think Senegal and Holland will be licking their lips. And also, it's important from Ecuador's point of view. They'd have been looking at this game going, look, we've got a really hard group in Senegal and Holland. Obviously, Mane not being available was a massive miss, but they're still AFCON champions. So these are the two lesser sides, maybe you would say, in the group. And they know, both of them know that they need to win this game. There's a switch. That's a good ball. Much better. Oh, it's a bad touch, though. It's been the story of the half for Qatar. Really poor touches. First touch has been miles off. That's a foul. Foul given to Ecuador. This referee's a bit dramatic with his fouls, isn't he? Loves it. But we've nearly gone through 3 minutes of this stoppage time here. King Yas says, I can't believe we turned down the opportunity to sign Casado for 4 million. The guy's quality. He's brilliant. He's not worth that now, isn't he? He's worth much more, certainly. He's a quality player. Valencia might be loosening up a little bit, which is a positive for Ecuador. But Ecuador, they're just calm. Very, very calm. Very easy for them, certainly at the moment. And Jeannie is the latest member of the UV Members Club. Welcome. Appreciate you joining the UV Members Club. You get your badges, your emojis, and your exclusive members-only content, such as UV Raw. You got the back catalogue there. New episodes coming soon. We filmed some real funny stuff during the Football Content Awards. So those episodes will be coming soon, especially throughout this World Cup. So appreciate you joining. And Jeannie, appreciate all the support. And you get your emojis, such as the Owen emoji, which Anjuni is just using for the first time. So there you go. Appreciate that. Welcome to the UVMC. Another one, as KG would say. Doesn't sound as good when I say it, though. Steffi Jenks said, did you wear a, if I can click the right one, says, did you wear a suit, Owen? I wore a blazer. Yeah, I wore a blazer. Smart clothes, a blazer and a shirt. It's a free kick to Qatar. We're entering the final minute of stoppage time in this first half here. It was not a blazer and a hoodie, no. I did scrub up. It was a blazer and a shirt, some nice shoes. Didn't wear a tie. Didn't go that far. Here come Qatar. Here's Miguel. Ball into the box. Oh, what a miss. What a miss. He has to score. Was he onside? It's an absolute staggering miss. And that's half time. Clear cut here. We're just looking at this here. It's well worked by Qatar. Puts the ball into the box. It's a clear header. He's less than 6 yards out. How does he miss? Oh, he has to actually connect with the ball. He moves his head back. Oh, it's a shocking one. Absolutely shocking one. After all that, it should be 2-1. After all that, could you imagine? It should have been 2-1. But the difference being Enna Valencia, 2 goals from Enna Valencia at half-time, and it's been easy. Been absolutely easy. And certainly the worst possible start for Qatar, and it's been smooth sailing. Valencia's still looking a bit sluggish, we should say. But there you go. It's been easy, certainly easy. But be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys, as well. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As I mentioned, plenty of World Cup coverage coming in the next week or so. What are you guys saying? Rafa says, hey, Owen, did Flex actually take you shopping for the awards? He promised. He did not. No, I had to shop for myself like a big boy, and I did not. David says, easy work, to be fair. Yeah, absolutely. It was easy. Matt Rogerson says, he was a Glazer boy. He said, see you later, boy. He wasn't good enough for her. I believe that's how it finishes off. And Raz says, Qatar with a Man United style comeback in the second half. Yes. That's what they'll have to do because they've been really, really poor, it must be said. Really poor. Ecuador have just been a quality above and it's just been easy. It's been too easy. I thought Qatar... I'd heard so much about Qatar coming into this World Cup. Not so much that they were going to be amazing or winning it or anything like that, but I'd heard that they had won, continental tournaments. And I thought they were really, really poor. I thought that their touch and passing was way off. I thought you look at someone like Ecuador and they've just been... It's been easy. It's been really, really easy for them. Just to look at some of the stats here. I mean, the stats kind of a little bit now flatten Qatar a little bit because possession 54% to Ecuador, 46% to Qatar. But that's only because the last 5 minutes it was all Qatar. We're just going to see a replay of this first goal. Now, it must be said, this is the first goal that was chalked off after 3 minutes here, and the ball gets put in. and the keeper comes out, and when the keeper comes out, there is a player that goes behind him, and they're saying that's why it's offside. I cannot believe they decided to rule it out for that. I guess in all technicalities, he was offside, but that is technically he's offside, but it's incredible. Really, at a World Cup, is that really what VAR is for? I mean, again, you can't now get into like, people giving it, corruption, all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, to give that as a decision, I think is incredible. Absolutely incredible that's what they gave for it. It's insane. I'm still kind of shocked that they gave that as an offside. Absolutely staggering. Really, truly is. But, technically it was offside, and it didn't faze Ecuador at all because they came back, got the 2 goals, and it's been really smooth sailing from there. I think Casado's been impressive. Certainly Valencia's also been impressive as well. As always, you know me, this is a bit of a throwback as well. Get your either ors in. So if you don't know what either or is, here when I do these solo remote match views, either or, basically say 2 things and I'll say which one I prefer. So you could say skips or quavers and I'd give you an answer. You could say 2 teams and I'll give you, or 2 players and I say my favourite one, and the chat can get involved as well. You could say your favourite chocolate. You could say, dairy milk or crunchy, and I go, it's a difficult one, but I prefer a crunchy. I'm one of those people. I like a bit of honeycomb. So you can say whatever. Take Time says Martial or Ronaldo. At the moment, at the moment, that's a difficult one. Look, if you're asking me which player is going to be there in January, the answer to that one is probably going to be Anthony Martial. Cristiano Ronaldo is not going to be there, certainly. Matt Rogerson says either or, best Star Wars show yet. Well, there's no options there. But what I can say about Star Wars shows is I watched Tales of the Jedi on Disney Plus the other day, and that is brilliant. Honestly, if you're a Star Wars fan, watch Tales of the Jedi. It's they're like 6 episodes. They're like 50 minutes long, and they are honestly so good, so good. It gives a real story about how like Count Dooku became a Sith, and his turn and all that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. Really is awesome. It's really, really good. Robert says, England to win the World Cup or United to win a trophy. That is a heck of a one there, Robert. See, I'm a fan of club football. The thing is, you would say with United is that I've been fortunate enough to see Manchester United win everything during my lifetime. I've seen Manchester United win every single trophy possible. I've seen them win Champions Leagues. I've seen them win Premier Leagues, multiple. I've seen them win multiple FA Cups, League Cups. I've seen them win the Club World Cup, in 2008. So I've literally seen them win everything. I cannot complain. England winning a major tournament would just kind of top it off. So probably it would be England to win a trophy, but not at the extent of United never winning another one. So, yeah. Victor says Black Adam or Black Panther 2. I haven't seen both fully, so I can't give a good answer for that, unfortunately. I can't give a good answer. Take Time says Spice Girls or Sugar Babes. Wow, these are the real questions that we want to get. These are the questions I want to get. These are the questions I want to get in the World Cup. These are the questions that need to be answered. Forget football. These are the real issues. Spice Girls or Sugar Babes. You've got to go Spice Girls, haven't you? I mean, they are an institution. They are, they transcended the UK. They represented the UK in other countries, so it's got to be. It's got to be Spice Girls, that one. Obi-Wan and Mandalorian. Mandalorian is very good, but I did really enjoy Obi-Wan. I really did enjoy Obi-Wan. I thought it was really good. Even though some episodes didn't need to be in there, and some storylines clearly were just filler, and just we're going to just put some extra stuff in because we've committed to 6 episodes. So I would still go Obi-Wan though, because having Ewan McGregor back and Hayden Christensen and others was brilliant. So I did enjoy that. I'll go with Obi-Wan. Lucas said this might get you in trouble, but Flex or KG. How can you choose? You can't choose. You cannot choose. They are part of the same being to me. So I will not get in trouble. I will sit on the fence with that one. David said, would you rather be a Leeds supporter or a Liverpool supporter? Well, that's not even a reality I want to consider, to be honest. But you'd say Leeds. I don't want to support Liverpool. No chance. No. Take Time says Rooney or Ronaldo. There's been this thing about this at the moment, hasn't there? There really has. But to be honest, it would have always been Rooney for me, and not just because of the recent comments. The better player of all time, clearly, is Ronaldo. He's one of the greatest players of all time, arguably the greatest player of all time. So Cristiano Ronaldo is a better footballer and better than Wayne Rooney. But in terms of being a club legend, Wayne Rooney is a far bigger club legend than Cristiano Ronaldo ever, even prior to all of this madness this year. He always was. He always was. He's the record goal scorer for Manchester United. Of course, he's got a bigger legend than Cristiano Ronaldo. He's won more Premier Leagues than Ronaldo did at United. He achieved more at the club. So, certainly. Anonymous says he doesn't like me. I don't know what you asked. Where did you ask? I didn't see. I didn't see you put in a question, so I cannot see. M. Sati says Vidic or Stam. Nemanja Vidic. I mean, obviously Stam, quality player, won the treble at United, but Stam was a captain and probably longer. He was more my era as well, Nemanja Vidic. So I will go. I'll go with Nemanja Vidic. Lucas says, which country are you most interested in seeing playing at the World Cup? That is a good question, Lucas. Which country am I most interested in seeing? I mean, obviously you'd say England because I'm English. But apart from England, I'm always interested in seeing Brazil, obviously. But I think they've got a really good squad this time round. So, I would probably say Brazil. I'm interested in Brazil. Rafa says stop a free kick for England in the World Cup final or take a penalty for Manchester United. As in save a free kick or take a penalty for United? I'll save a free kick any day. Because I'm shit at penalties. I'm terrible. I've had to take a couple before in penalty shootouts when it's gone all the way that the goalkeeper has to take them. And I'm terrible at penalties. I'm all right at saving them, but taking them, I'm rubbish. Awful. Awful. These are the real questions. Baked beans or spaghetti hoops? Do you know what? It depends, because some baked beans, when you open up a tin of baked beans sometimes and you cook them and they're just rock hard. And they say, Owen, you're not cooking them properly. But sometimes, it doesn't matter how long you cook them for, they will not, stop being rock hard. You never get that problem with spaghetti hoops. You know what you're getting yourself in for. It's always going to be good. I think spaghetti hoops are more reliable than baked beans. I think that's the answer. That's the real answer there. Raz says Berbatov or Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy's goal scorer. Van Nistelrooy goal scorer. He'll score your goals. That's what he does. That is what he does. He won us. Berbatov won us titles as well. That's not fair actually, because I remember 2010 to 2011 was Berbatov top goal scorer in the league. Rude though. His record was fantastic. His record was brilliant. So I'll go with Van Nistelrooy. Lucas says, as a Canadian, I want to see how we do this year before we host it, but I'm excited to see Denmark. You know what, actually, Lucas, I forgot about that. I'm interested to see how Canada do this year. I think, they've been, the Canadian story when it comes to football is really interesting because, was it a couple of years ago, or not too long ago, they were super low ranked, and over the last, 5 or 6 years, they've really come up a lot in international football. They've got some decent players now. And it's going to be really interesting, like you say, to qualify first, and then next time around they're going to be hosting. It's going to be North America hosting, isn't it? It's going to be Canada, the United States, and Mexico all hosting the tournament. It's going to be interesting to see how they do. So I think that's a really interesting one. I'm excited to see Canada as well. Tiramisu or profiteroles? I don't really like both. Probably profiteroles. Hakpo or Osimhen to join Manchester United. Which one would I prefer? I would prefer Victor Osimhen because he's a proper number 9. He's a proper number 9. He's a proper goal scorer, and I think he'd be the one we need to be looking for. So it'll probably be Osimhen, certainly. And a coffee or tea. Oh, it's always a coffee. Always, always a coffee for me. Always, always. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? That green in the background. Let me fix that. But if you just joined us, it is halftime. It's Qatar 0, Ecuador 2. Absolutely dominated. Absolutely dominated. Have Ecuador in this one. It's been easy. Been really easy for the away side, technically, I guess. And Qatar, I bet actually, they've been sort of shockingly poor. It must be said as well. I've been surprised really how poor they've actually been. Qatar, I expected more, to be honest, from you, and they haven't delivered as of yet either. What other questions am I getting here? Which team do I think will win the World Cup? That is a tough question for you. What team do I think will win the World Cup? I still think France are the favourites, considering... I still think France are the favourites, even though of all of their injuries. Brazil, they're right up there as well. Germany as well, maybe. Yeah, probably them. Rafa says, beans no toast or bangers and mash. Come on, Owen, choose. Beans on toast. I was going to say beans no toast. That's just beans. Beans no toast, or on toast rather, or bangers and mash. Beans on toast any day. Any day of the week for me. I'm not much... I like potatoes. I like roast potatoes, but I don't really like mashed potatoes. So, yeah, I'll go beans on toast. Easy. Gandalf or Dumbledore? Well, I've not seen either. I've not ever seen a Harry Potter film or sat all the way through. I did go to see one. I was taken to one when I was younger, and I fell asleep. So I still haven't seen a single Harry Potter film. Maybe that's something I can do at some point in the future, maybe. So I cut that. And then same with The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. I've never seen either film. So I can't even say I can give you a good answer for that. I've never seen either. Great question from Robert. Constipated or diarrhea? Wow. What would I prefer to be? It's a good one. You'd want diarrhea. You'd want it. That's what you'd want. Of course, that's what you'd want. At least you can go. You can't stop, but at least you can go. You don't... yeah. As long as you're at home, then no problem. You know, you can just live in your toilet. Fine. AB says, Owen, seriously, views on KG's unprofessional, outrageous interview. I don't know who you're referring to because it was the chef. It was not KG. They're different people. Amsat says, The Ring 1 or Paranormal Activity 1. I think I've only seen The Ring. I haven't seen the first Paranormal Activity. I saw like the third one at the cinema and it was rubbish. It was just jumpy. But the second half's about to start. Did Enna Valencia come back out? Llewellyn says Bray Wyatt or LA Knights. Bray Wyatt, obviously. And if you do like the wrestling, you can subscribe to my wrestling channel, which is Owen Wrestle News 365. Give it a Google search. But the second half is about to be underway. Hopefully the kickoff is a bit better than the one in the first half. And we're off. Second half is underway here. 2-0 to Ecuador. Appreciate all of the questions at halftime. Enjoyed that a lot. But Qatar got a lot to do this second half. Be sure to smash a like on the like button as well. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. As Qatar have a lot to do. They're playing a 5-3-2. No changes for Qatar at halftime. Interesting to see if Ecuador made any changes. It's funny, if you look on Google at like the live win probability, they've given Qatar 0.6% chance to win this game. They might not be the favourites. They might not be the favourites. But I think this is going to be like it's what it's going to be like for the remainder of the game now, to be honest. I think it's going to be Qatar having quite a lot of the ball. Ecuador will be happy for them to have it. Valencia is still on in the second half. Again, the sort of touches. Both sides can't keep the ball at the moment. Just giving the ball away over and over again. Here come Ecuador on the counter-attack. Cuts inside. Gives it. Here's Valencia once again. Heavy touch. Tries to force it through. I mean, he's looking at the referee saying he was pulled back. Referee doesn't give it. Italian referee in the middle today. Kind Other says, did Flex touch the Qatar goalpost? As far as I'm aware, no. But you never know. I hope Qatar sort of come out and play a bit in this second half. Because Ecuador, there's no reason to. They can sort of just sit there and it can be very easy for them. I hope we see something. But Qatar have been very sloppy on the ball, I found, in that half. Don't forget to subscribe as well, guys. Bottom right-hand corner. Here comes Qatar running the ball forward. It's not a foul. Oh, I give it. Oh, I don't know about that, referee. It's a foul on Aziz. But Qatar just going to have more of the ball, certainly. AB says Ivan Toney or Mitrovic in January. I'd have Ivan Toney. Summer says, who do you think the best footballer is? Subjective. For me, whatever, or at the moment, because I think they're different questions. Certainly the atmosphere, through the legs of the Ecuador player, that was nice. Certainly the atmosphere is good in the stadium, though. No doubt about that. Ball over the top by Qatar, doesn't go anywhere. Qatar coach looks very frustrated with his players. Looks like maybe he wants a bit more quality or just a bit frustrated with what he's seeing. But it's a goal kick to Ecuador here. About 4 minutes into this second half. Ecuador firmly in control. Ball headed over the top. Ball still hanging up in the air. Well played by the Qatari player. Heads it back to the goalkeeper. Got to get the players back in front of me so I know who they are. That was a header from Kuki. Oh, also a reminder, we will be live tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. It will be myself and Marcel live. A bit of a, a little bit of a World Cup preview, some Man United news, talk about the latest happenings of the world of Manchester United and football, etc. So that'll be live 9 o'clock tomorrow. Breakfast show settings, so you can be sure to join us then. Then, as I mentioned, we'll be live 12:30 p.m., 30 minutes before England's kickoff against Iran in their World Cup opener. Then after the game, we'll have fan views, a tactical view. Plus, in addition to that, my aim is to be live later on in the evening for the Wales versus USA game as well. So we're going to have a nice busy day full of content for you fine folks tomorrow. $50 minutes gone, still 2-0. Ball headed around. Got to get the ball on the floor. Still bouncing around in the air. Ecuador now on the ball once again. Oh, nips past the player. Nice. Oh, they might be through here. Here comes Ecuador. Ibarra cuts it back. It's lack of quality. I mean, you can't question the pitch. As I mentioned, pitch looks great, but that's a foul throw. Why do they never do anything about foul throws? I know I bring this up every single match for you, but it does my head in. They never do anything about foul throws. It's bullshit. Here's Afif. Gives it to Haydos. Now it's Ahmed on the ball. And Qatar going to play around a little bit, as I said. Ecuador will be happy for them to have the ball at this point. Valencia blocks it. Here they come once again on the counter-attack. Here comes Ecuador. It's not going to reach that. Does well. Does the 16, I believe. Kuki again. Oh, he has a shot. Oh, my goodness. What was that? Presedo. I thought he was going to cross it, and then he has kicked that ball so hard. So hard. It's flown over the bar. Whoa. Comes a thief. At least Qatar, that you could say they're playing the ball around better than they were before. It's just too little too late. And then they do something like that. Another attempt to play the ball over the top. It doesn't go anywhere. Offside. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be getting... what's this? Jason David Frank, the guy who played the Power Rangers, the White Ranger, or the Green Rangers, died. How very sad. And Josh is a big Power Rangers fan. Here comes Ecuador, skipping past a couple of players once again. Ball put in. Oof. I was just sending you a message, Josh. There was a ball into the box, cuts behind. How very sad. "53 minutes gone though, still 2-0 to Ecuador. I think it's a free kick here at the moment. Oh, it's a throw-in, excuse me. But I get the impression we're going to have a bit of a slow second half here, folks, because again, Ecuador don't really need to do anything. Qatar just don't really have the quality, seemingly. Raz says Marcel will be buzzing for a De Gea free World Cup. I'll ask him tomorrow. We'll get into that. Certainly the atmosphere feels a bit quieter than it did in the first half. I think the Qataris are coming with the reality of the quality of some of these other sides. It's just easy. Oh, it's a good ball by... He's through on goal. Cuts him back on the inside. Has a shot. It's a good save by the goalkeeper. Good save from the keeper. One pass. That's all it took. One pass. Went straight through the defence. Easy. Here comes Enner Valencia once again. And kicks it out. It's literally one pass through. He cuts it back in on his foot. Kills it. I don't think he should have cut in. If he'd have taken it on his left foot, he'd have gone past the players. As soon as you cut back in inside, you give the defenders an opportunity to get back in, and that's exactly what happened there. Long throw, though, into the box. Headed away. Oh, Valencia nearly won it back there for Ecuador. Referee's going to give a free kick there. Oh, how many rolls? Rolling around all over the pitch was the Qatari player. Mendes this time gets a booking. What's how many bookings in this game already? It's like 5. 5 bookings. Oh, it's nasty, actually. It's worth the rolls. He rolls around quite a lot. They might have a look at it. I don't think they will. But now Mendes now on a booking. But if you've just tuned in, it's 2-0. Ecuador, 2-0 up. 2 first-half goals from Enner Valencia. 1 a penalty, 1 a header. 1 ruled out for offside as well. Could have been on a hat-trick. But he is not. Switch. Oh, able to get it down, does Miguel, but it's not enough. Ball up the pitch. Oh, look at that for a header. He sort of spun around. Spun around like that and managed to head it. That's impressive. But certainly as opening 10 minutes or so goes in this half, very, very... not a lot going on. Said Ecuador, they're more than happy just to sit back now. I think it's going to be a pretty slow second half. I think so. I think that's what we're getting here. Not a lot gonna happen. Not a lot gonna go on. Certainly, I don't think. It's just Ecuador managing the game, you would say. But that's a foul. Oh, yep, it's a foul to Ecuador. Foul by Hatim this time. That's a clear foul. And it's just going to be that, I think, in the second half. I wonder how many people in the chat, how many different countries in this World Cup we've got represented here so far. I know we've got one Ecuadorian in David. Obviously, we've probably got some English people in. I think we've still got some Canadian people in. As Ecuador is passing it around the nicely. Let me put a poll in the chat, actually. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. I'm going to ask, so who are actually the favourites? The bookies odds, the favourites. I think it's France, isn't it? It's France. France are the favourites. I'll ask if, will France win the tournament? I'll ask France. If France will win. Put a poll in. Colin's watching from the United States. We've got Botswana. We've got Nigeria as well. Riri says, I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm supporting Brazil. Victor says, I don't think we'll see Kenya in the World Cup anytime soon. You never know. Maybe in the future. AB saying Argentina are the favourites. Look at that already. So the poll's up in the chat asking, will France win the tournament? 96% saying no. Robert, Poland. Yes, Poland in there. Matty Cash. Robert Lewandowski. AB says from India, supporting Argentina. Take time saying Argentina for me so Ronaldo can cry about it. Well, obviously there was the picture of Ronaldo and Messi there, wasn't there? I think, I feel like it might be Brazil's one this time around. They got good players. Good players, a plethora of options. It might be Neymar's year. Not sure it'll be England, though. Don't think England's going to be... I mean, you could make... the best case scenario for England, they finish top of their group. Maybe they play second out of this group which you would think would probably be Senegal, or might even be Ecuador. Now without Mane, of course, for Senegal, it might be Ecuador. That's a decent draw. And actually, to be fair, that's why I guess for England fans, we should be paying a lot of attention to this game, because we might be playing Ecuador. So Ecuador is probably worth watching and keeping an eye out. King Yar says, I want Portugal or Argentina to win it. Regan MFC123 says, it's my birthday. Can you shout me out? Happy birthday. I'm sure the entire chat will give you... Oh, it's a good header. Oh, goes past the post. Chance for Qatar. It was just a long ball pumped into the box by Qatar once again. Crossfield ball. Arrives. It's a good header. Keeper's never in trouble. Very easy, to be honest. Very easy. But after a okay first half, it's been a very dull second so far, must be said. Goal kick for Ecuador, up the pitch. Flick on. Oh, good touch by Ana Valencia. Matt says, France always do poor after winning the World Cup. Football heritage. Football heritage. Qatar just nipping the ball around nicely. But something needs to change quickly for Qatar, because they're looking miles off. Absolutely miles off. Switch across to Miguel. It's an offside though. How very sad about Jason David Frank, by the way. I mean, honestly, that was my era of Power Rangers as well. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I had all the VHSs. I had the movie where he turns into the White Ranger. How very, very sad. I think fireworks are going off in Qatar, seemingly still. Or are they fireworks, or was that a drum? I think it's a drum. And they're claps. It sounds like fireworks. It's not. It's a drum. Ball into the box. Qatar keeper claims. Looks like he's settled down a bit after a really shaky first few minutes. Qatar stepping out of defence. Gives the ball away. It's just easy. It's just easy. To be honest as well, if Ecuador really stepped up their game in the second half, they could get 4-5. Because it's so easy. And maybe that's what they're waiting for. They're maybe saying, you know what, Qatar are going to come out a little bit this second half. They're going to try and play. They're going to run themselves into the ground. Then remaining 10-15 minutes, we'll just pick them off. Because Ecuador are just beyond comfortable. In terms of a World Cup opening match, they could not find a more comfortable opening game than they're having right now. It's so easy. So easy for them. It's absolutely crazy how easy it is for them at the moment. And the Qatari fans still cheering over and over and over. But it's easy. That's a throw in to Qatar. AB says, why risk injury in this heat? Chill pill for Ecuador. Maybe that's right. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're just going, look, get a victory, Let's preserve energy. We've already had, a lot of games recently. Cleared the ball. Does Ecuador? It's going to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. But 65 minutes gone. Still 2-0 to Ecuador. And very, very easy stuff. There's Qatar on the ball once again. And to be honest, the way this is going now, come the end of the game, they'll say, oh, Qatar had a lot of the ball. But that's where stats don't really reflect the full game. Because in this half, Ecuador haven't really touched the ball that much. Here come Qatar once again. Ball put in. There's nobody there. Flick away from Ecuador. Miguel for Qatar. Cross blocked. And that's probably a throw into Qatar. Looks to be a Ecuador substitution coming up. Sarmiento is going to be coming on for them. It's the Brighton player, Sarmiento. I thought I recognised him from somewhere. Turns out it's Qatar. Again, the Qatar, they'll do a couple of nice passes and they'll just give it away. The quality just clearly isn't there. It's just, Ecuador are just a level above. And I think the majority of the team, well, the teams in their group, certainly Holland and Senegal, will be just a cut above. It's one of those situations, isn't it, I think, whereby sometimes with host nations, they're just not good enough. And what do you expect from Qatar? They're a tiny country. And it's just... I mean, I suppose you could argue it's still somewhat competitive, but it's easy. It's very, very easy. Off comes Ibarra, the player with the cast on. And on comes Sarmiento. Oh, I did pronounce that right. Sarmiento. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys, as well. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner too. Plenty of World Cup games coming up on the horizon. Oh, stretch my back. What a boring second half. Really? What a dull second half. Oh, that's nice. From Ecuador. Here's Estrada. Ecuador down the right-hand side. Goes for an overlap. Presedo manages just about to keep it on. Is that going to be a foul? Referee's not going to give it. He was looking for it, certainly. Looks for a flick on. Doesn't really get there. And once again... Ecuador have the ball. Here's Enner Valencia. Gives it to Plata. Plata going to run at the Qatari defence. Gives it away. Real lack of quality in the second half. Really must be said. Lack of quality, lack of energy. And the opening game is kind of fizzling out a little bit. Unless Qatar can get a goal back, maybe that'll bring this game to life. I think that's what this game needs. Is a Qatar goal, but I don't think the Ecuador goalkeepers even had to make a save at this point. It's been incredibly easy. That's not a foul either. Here come Ecuador on the counter-attack. If they move the ball quick enough, they'll get players in behind. That's a foul. A foul to Ecuador, free kick. A foul on Moses Caicedo, whatever. But now we're going to get a double change from Qatar, seemingly. Oh. But I think Qatar are going to make a sub, seemingly. Caicedo, as David says. I'll get it right eventually. Ball into the box, free kick. Is he going to give a foul? No. Caicedo. That's the best way to get me with the pronunciations. If you spell it out phonetically, I'll be able to do it. Speaking of the substitution, here comes a double change for Qatar. The captain comes off, El Jesus. Captain's armband goes to the goalkeeper, Al Sheeb. On comes Mohamed Wad. And Muntari comes on. Mohamed Muntari. He's actually born in Ghana. Long throw for Ecuador. For Caicedo. Told you. Nailed it. Here's Sarmiento. Got quick feet, certainly. Is that a foul? Referee's going to give it. Yep. Free kick to Ecuador. King Yar says, I wonder if United will do any scouting at this World Cup. I mean, I think it was reported earlier on that the scouts were there. I mean, it'd be if the scouts realistically should be at every game. Realistically, for United, World Cup's always an opportunity to look at talent, see who thrives and does well on the biggest stage. But it's another free kick to Ecuador. Decent position. They've got to get the ball into the box seemingly here. I remember Valencia did score a header earlier on, so maybe they're going to try and pick him out, the captain. He is on a hat-trick. See if Ecuador can get the third and really finalise this game. If they get the third, it's game over. I mean, practically it's game over anyway. Qatar are no threat. Ball into the box, headed away. Say throw in to Ecuador. Lucian says, will the heat have an influence in this World Cup? Will the quality and pace of the games be affected? I mean, by all accounts, the stadiums are air-conditioned. I mean, they're meant to be equipped with state-of-the-art air conditioning to prevent that. I mean, the heat is still there. I think it is still, 29, 28, 30 degrees from what I've seen. I think I spoke to Flex, who of course is out there, and he was saying it is still very, very hot. Obviously, all of the players have been training and commenting about how hot it has been. But by all accounts, again, the stadiums are air-conditioned, so it shouldn't be too bad. But the heat's got to be part of it, certainly. I remember in Brazil in 2014 where there was the game, I forget which city it was, but there was a stadium which was essentially in a rainforest. And they were saying the humidity was incredible to deal with. But the players have to deal with it. Of course, the next game after today is England's opener against Iran. As I mentioned, we will be live 12:30 tomorrow for the 1 p.m. kickoff. We'll be live in UVHQ. We're joined by the likes of Marcel and Cam for that one. Miguel, ball in. Doesn't do much with it. Afif has a shot. And it's miles over the bar for Qatar. It saw his name in lights. Saw his name in lights. Has the shot. Miles over the bar. But nearly 75 minutes gone. Still 2-0 to Ecuador in this World Cup opening game. Enner Valencia's down once again. He's holding his knee. That's not good. Obviously, Valencia did hyperextend his knee, seemingly, in that first half. He might have run his race. They would hope, certainly, it's not a case of... it might be a bit fatigued. Now would be the time to take him off. You don't need goals at this point. You just need to see the game out. He's still walking a bit gingerly, though, isn't he? But he is limping. Their hope would be that he's still available. We're just seeing these his second goal once again. Brilliant header. Real fantastic header in that first half. Brilliant. Fantastic. But he's getting a hug from the manager. Would appear, though, that he looks all right. I think it's just probably a case of precaution. He's probably just said to himself, like, I'm done for this evening, but I'm all right. And it's Cifuentes is coming on. Jose Cifuentes from Los Angeles FC comes on for his 12th cap. But a goal kick for Ecuador hit up the field. As I mentioned, still 2-0. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can join the UV Members Club as well. Plenty of World Cup content on the way. On the way. Cifuentes. Oof. Foul given to Qatar. Ecuador player's gone down now. It's another booking. This time it's going to be for a thief. But completely comfortable. Completely. Oh, it's nasty again. There have been some really nasty tackles in this game. Really, really nasty tackles. I know there's been a lot of bookings in the game, but a lot of them have been really justified. Really justified. My goodness. It's a free kick to Ecuador, though. They'll pump it in the box. As we said earlier on, nobody scored more goals from set pieces in qualifying than Ecuador. So that's their game. Get set pieces, get balls into the box. Their first goal was disallowed from a set piece. So here come Ecuador. Gosh, it's a very flat one by Mendes. Didn't really go that far. Here comes Qatar, though. Maybe on the counter-attack. No. Very easy for Ecuador to mop up. And again, Ecuador very, very calmly in control. And looks like that first 3 points of the World Cup this year, of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, is going to go to Ecuador. Remember, the host nation has never lost an opening game, but it looks like history is about to be made this evening, because I would be stunned and frankly flabbergasted if Qatar managed to salvage anything from this one. Ball over the top. It might be offside because it hit the player. But he's got to cut it back. It cuts it back. He's going to be free. Oh, it's over the bar. What a miss. Sarmiento. It's offside. I think been given offside in the end because it hit him on the shoulder. He'll be happy because he's missed a sitter. I think he's on. I mean, it's tight. Very tight. He cuts it back. Oh, it's a sitter. Thankfully, he'll be happy that it was given offside because he's missed an absolute sitter there. Could have been 3 if it wasn't offside. But he got away with it as the referee put his, or the linesman rather, put his flag up. Oof. Qatar, a bit of a short pass back to the goalkeeper there. Keeper puts his foot through it. Tries to hold it up, but goes straight back to a Ecuadorian player. Again, just easy. They're just announcing the attendance. I mean, what have you guys made of Ecuador so far in this game? I mean, again, it can be difficult to judge because the quality just isn't there from Qatar, clearly, but they've done all right. Oh, here's Ecuador once again. Plata, edge of the box. Oh, Cifuentes tries to force it through. He might be offside. Comes to the Ecuador player. Oh, he's forced it through. It's a great ball. Oh, just over here. Goalkeeper did really, really well. Keeper's fine. They gave a free kick. They were both entitled to go for it. It's just a little bit too much. It was a good pass. It's unlucky. Very unlucky. Keeper did well, though. Comes out, puts himself in a dangerous situation. AB says, "Does anyone like the disgrace known as Bounty?" No, I didn't get what the outroar was about. That what about people were saying, "Oh, I can't believe they've taken it out." Good, it's horrible. Coconut chocolate, yuck. Who wants that? Oof. Mistake from the goalkeeper there. The Qatari coach doesn't look very happy. I think he expected better. Qatari fans want to see more. Raz says, even though Qatar were poor, Ecuador showed some quality. Colin says, Ecuador are just seeing it out. The opposition are quite bad, with all due respect to them. Presedo. They come Ecuador once again. Mendez caught, and it's a free kick. I'll be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys. We are... I've got to do some maths now. 21 likes away from 250. So if you haven't already, be sure to smash a like on the like button. And be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. But it's another free kick to Ecuador here. Dion Dublin's now talking about clotheslines and forearm smashes and wrestling because it's got to that stage of this game. Ball in. And too deep. Goes out for a goal kick. But no, I think Ecuador have done actually pretty well. I think considering that opening decision was, bizarre. I thought as Valencia has an ice pack wrapped around his knee. I thought they've done well. And the important thing would have been for them is just win this first game, manage the occasion, manage the crowd. And they've done that very well, Ecuador. They've been a thoroughly professional job, not threatened at all. So I think they'll be very happy with that. We're still running, got in the way of the linesman, the number 5. Sam, that might be a foul on the Qatari player. It is. But less than 7 minutes to go. Plus injury time, of course. Still 2-0 in this opening game of the FIFA 2022 World Cup. Ecuador versus the host nation of Qatar. Qatar managing that very well, very easily. Very straightforward stuff, must be said. Long throw. Qatar deal with that well. Senegal, the next opponents for Qatar. Ecuador will have Holland. And bit of a damp squib, as they would say, of a second half, with not too much going on. Because I think you might see more. You might see, hopefully. I mean, you would hope you're going to see more exciting games than this in this World Cup, but it's what it's going to be like, isn't it? It'll be interesting to know if Qatar can play better than this, or if this is just their level. He's been dispossessed there. Here comes Ecuador on the counter-attack once again. Ecuador, he's just overhit it. He's overhit it. He'll make it, though. Oh, why'd you let it run off? He just let it run out. He got caught in two minds. Sarmiento is heavy with the pass. He could have taken an extra touch. Could have been free. Appreciate you, Olajid. Like I said, I will be with you as much as I possibly can over the next 4 weeks for games such as this, even if the games are not exciting. Oh, that would have been amazing. It would have been an unbelievable goal for Qatar. Just for a split second, it looked like it was in. Oh. Look at this. It's just another long ball over the top. Ball over the top. It's a good run. He's in behind is the Qatari striker. And he takes it first time. Half volley. It's just on the roof of the net. Oh, it would have been a World Cup classic if that had gone in. He's really unlucky. Took it first time. Would have been sensational. Just too much, though. Most exciting thing in this second half, certainly. Qatar certainly had more of the ball second half, but again, that's because Ecuador have been happy for them to have it. It goes, ball whipped into the box for Qatar. It goes for the header. Oh, it just misses. They're going to get another chance. Deflected. Keeper will get that. Claims it very well. Comfortable for the goalkeeper. Too little, too late, seemingly, for Qatar. And the crowd have woken up, certainly. The crowd are up for it. The Qatar coach still doesn't look happy at all. Oof. It's a throw-in for Ecuador. 8 likes away from 250, by the way, guys. So if you haven't already, smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well. Currently a throw-in for Ecuador. Throw. Oh, turns out just loses like 3 or 4 Qatari players there. It was brilliant. Oof. Deflected. Keeper gets the ball. I think it's going to be a goal kick, actually, as well. Oh, it's a corner. Given a corner. If they score from this would be interesting. Corner for Ecuador. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Then obviously we'll have stoppage time. In a largely comfortable game for Ecuador. Ball whipped in. Headed away. Throw in though to Ecuador as we round this opening game in the World Cup out. 2-0 still. That's a foul throw. Platter. Oh, Qatar win it back. Keeps going. No, easily dispossessed. Looks like an Ecuador sub's about to happen. Or 2 are about to come on. Franco and Kevin Rodriguez seemingly are going to come on. Estrada's going to come off for Ecuador. Pass the armband on to Estepinian. Estrada was the top goal scorer in qualifying. And Caicedo's on his way off as well. He's been excellent. He's a good player. Very good player, Caicedo. He's one that I would like at Manchester United. Brighton have got a proper player in their hands there. That's going to cost some major money to prize him away from the club. Caicedo's a proper. Well, we're into the 90th minute. Going to be 5 minutes of stoppage time. Five. There was 5 minutes added on in the first half, and now 5 minutes on again. 10 extra minutes. Ten extra minutes, gosh. 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the second. 5 minutes at the end of the first. I'm not sure what for. Literally nothing has happened. Nothing has happened in this second half to determine having an extra 5 minutes. There's been like barely any stoppages. Afif. Here comes Rodriguez. But very, very easy. Very, very easy, rather. And for what was actually an okay first half, it must be said, second half has been, I mean, how dull do you want? Really? Oh my goodness. I think it might be a long tournament. A long tournament for Qatar, certainly. As we said, actually, the stadium's emptied significantly. Actually, you can just sort of see it on the screen. It's already emptied quite a lot. They've seen enough. But what's everyone made of this opening start of the World Cup? Is that going to be a foul? It's a foul to Qatar. Free kick. As we're in the 93rd minute. About 2.5 minutes remain of this opening match of the World Cup. Ecuador are just better, aren't they? They're just better. It's just easy. And I think, I don't know if I see Qatar scoring a goal in this World Cup, to be honest. They got to play Senegal and they got to play Holland. And I don't see them getting a goal against either. And it's not to say that Ecuador are a bad team, because they're not, clearly. But this would have been their best chance today, and they've been really, really poor. No threat whatsoever. Seventh consecutive clean sheet for Ecuador. They're a proper team. They're not bad. Here come Ecuador once again. Gonna get the ball into the box. Oh, it hit the Qatar player right in the face. Pow, right in the kisser. Pow, right in the kisser. Oh. Look at this. Bang! Oh. That was nasty. That hurts. That always hurts when you get that one straight in the face. Final minute of stoppage time, though. Ball to be whipped in. Ball in! Oh, nearly. Nearly a third for Ecuador. It was Rodriguez that was closest to it. I don't know if he sees it coming. Oh, he throws himself out. He just gets it completely wrong. But we're about 15 seconds remaining. Still 2-0 here. And it's been easy. Qatar corner. Certainly will be the last kick of the game. They're not going to win it, but they might get a goal. A FIFA standing over it. In well, it's nearly an empty stadium at this point. Ball in, headed away. That'll be it. And that's it. Game over. The opening game of the 2022 World Cup goes Ecuador's way. It's Qatar 0, Ecuador 2. And Ecuador completes something like 7th consecutive clean sheet for them. It was easy. It was really, really easy for them. And that is one of the most straightforward, I think, World Cup opening games that you're probably ever going to see. As far as Qatar, didn't really see all that much that I can say I was super, super impressed with. I think they're going to struggle to get a goal, frankly, in this World Cup tournament. You can't fault the support inside the stadium from both countries. I thought Qatar were loud, I thought Ecuador were loud, but when you've got quality players, when you've got players that have played in international tournaments before, when you've got experienced players, people like Valencia, it's too easy. And that's the best way to describe today's game for Ecuador. Too easy. And as I said, I think Qatar are going to be fortunate, to be honest, to actually... I think they're going to struggle to get a goal, frankly, in this. You look at the other teams left in their group. Holland, Senegal. I know Senegal aren't the same without they're not the same without Sadio Mane. Of course, misses the tournament through injury. But frankly, I don't see Qatar really adding all that much. They have made history. Qatar, they're the first host nation, first host to lose a game in World Cup history, which, to be fair, I think was to be expected. That was always going to be the case for Qatar. And just, again, difference in quality remains to be seen. Completely difference in quality. And what will be interesting now, I guess, about Group A is you would expect... you would probably think that Holland will probably top that group. But there's a spot there, certainly. There's a spot there, I think, now for Ecuador without having Sadio Mane available. I think there's certainly a possibility that Ecuador could get through. You've seen there, they've got goals in them. They've got, obviously, they're keeping clean sheets. I think the stats kind of flatter. Qatar, frankly. Second half, yeah, Qatar had a lot of the ball, but that's because Ecuador wanted them to. It was again no real threat there. Ecuador just sat back and said, if you want to attack us, you can, but we know we've basically won the game. To give you some of the stats before we wrap things up, 6 shots to 5 shots from Qatar. Qatar has 0 shots on target throughout the game, 3 shots on target for Ecuador. Of course, it could have been 3-0. They had that goal chalked off earlier on in the game, somewhat controversially, even though technically I guess it was offside. We're just looking back at that now. The Valencia disallowed goal in the first place, it's actually Torres is the one who's been given offside. The keeper comes out and by stepping forward, his knee is just a little bit forward. So again, controversially chalked off. And for other teams, that could have led them to be a bit rattled and a bit concerned about what was going to be coming ahead in the future. But it didn't bother Valencia or Ecuador at all. They got those 2 goals and wasn't a problem. And again, that first half, they absolutely dominated the ball. Second half, Qatar had a bit more of the ball. So at the end of the game, they had 47% possession, 434 passes from Qatar to Ecuador's 486. But still, it was just easy, and a real lack of quality there was involved. So, as I mentioned, I think Qatar are going to be fortunate to get any goals in this tournament. And anything's possible, certainly. We'll have to wait and see. But that Group A now is between 3 teams, really, I think. And that would be Holland, who you would expect to go through, Senegal and Ecuador. And you could argue maybe the game between Senegal and Ecuador might be the one to determine who actually is going to get through in this group. Valencia looks a proper quality player. We're just seeing the replay of the penalty. It's a clear penalty. The goalkeeper gets booked. He's through on goal, rounds him, chips up Valencia, who did look dangerous when he came on. His penalty was very good, sends the keeper the wrong way easily, waits for the keeper to move. It wasn't any problem whatsoever, and just coolly, he doesn't even do a run-up. Look, he just walks up, waits for the keeper to move, no problem, into the keeper's left-hand corner. Not an issue there. It was actually the second goal that was a real good quality goal, actually. I did really enjoy that. That's a proper centre-forwards goal, as they would say. It's a cross into the box. Still has a lot to do, direct the header into the corner. And again, he might feel like he's somewhat unfortunate not to get his hat-trick because the first one was chalked off because of an offside. But Ecuador might be one to watch. Again, though, it's difficult to say. It's difficult to kind of tell because the quality or lack thereof of Qatar, it's going to be much better and easier to judge Ecuador against a better opponent, certainly. But there you go, guys. That's the first remote match view done for you today, this evening. And as I mentioned, tomorrow we've got a jam-packed day. Of course, England, their tournament kicks off tomorrow against Iran. 1 p.m. kickoff. We will be live at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow, so be sure to join us. We'll be live from UVHQ as well. It'll be myself, joined by an outstanding panel as always. Plus, we'll have fan views after the game. We'll have a tactical view as well after the game as well. So we've got a fantastic match day coverage for you tomorrow. Plus, I'm then going to race back here, and we're going to be doing a match view of the USA versus Wales as well. Obviously, Wales kick off their campaign against the United States, so I'm going to be covering that one. Plus, 9 a.m. tomorrow, we'll have a special morning show. I'll be joined by Marcel as we'll preview the day's World Cup coverage and World Cup games, in addition to covering any Manchester United news that is out there as well. So this is just the beginning. We've got plenty of World Cup coverage, so now is the time to subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, smash a like on the like button as well. Remember, you can join the UV Members Club. Links in the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat as well. Before we go and I play the end card, I'm going to play this Qatar intro as well that Josh has made. Big up Josh, he never misses, and I'll speak for you again very soon. Have a good one, guys. Peace.
I say remix.